Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan. Today we're going to talk about Ireland. I'm from there. When I talk about Ireland, my accent becomes stronger. It reverts back to the way it was. So, just in case you're wondering why I sound different in this video compared to the others, it just happens instinctively. I don't mean to do it. I'm doing this video to celebrate the fact that I just finished my book, 1000 Facts About Ireland. And a huge thank you to these people who helped me with the research. So, cheers guys, and do let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos. To most of the world, Ireland is tiny. In fact, it's so small you could fit into Russia 202 times. It would only take 7 hours to drive from its most northern point to the most southern point. On the other hand, it would take 117 hours to drive from one side of Russia to the other. Despite Ireland's tiny size, it is one of the most unique countries in the world. It's not just Guinness, potatoes, and leprechauns. It has a history that's fascinating but tragic, odd but funny, devastating yet inspirational. There's more to Ireland than you could ever imagine. Most famous people have Irish roots, including several American presidents. Some of the most influential writers, inventors, actors, astronomers, athletes, and physicists came from this beautiful nation. If you're not from Ireland, I hope you see that there's more to this nation than you first thought. If you are Irish, prepare to fall in love with your country all over again. So here we go. This is 100 Facts About Ireland. Let's dive in. Okay, let's start off by looking at alcohol. The Irish like their beer. This may be a surprise to you. Despite the country's reputation, Ireland isn't even in the top 10 biggest alcohol consumers. Belarus, Hungary, Ukraine, Romania, and Russia drink far more alcohol. According to the World Health Organization, the country that consumes the most alcohol is not Ireland, it's Moldova. Happy hours are banned in Irish pubs. The Great Whiskey Fire of Dublin in 1875 led to 13 deaths. Nobody died from the fire itself. All victims died from alcohol poisoning by drinking the whiskey flowing through the streets. I always try to defend Irish people being called stupid, but sometimes it's like, dude, you're strengthening our stereotypes. Sean's Bar in Athlone has been open since 900 AD, making it the oldest pub in Europe. Irish people used to cure a hangover by burying themselves up to the neck in river sand. Bizarrely, it didn't work. Like ever. Let's look at Ireland's most famous drink, Guinness. Arthur Guinness from Leixlip, Kildare, began brewing Guinness in 1759. Arthur Guinness was so confident about his drink that he leased Guinness for 9,000 years. One of the reasons Guinness is so popular is because it has a surprisingly low amount of calories. 1 pint, which is 568 milliliters, only contains 210 calories. It is also filled with iron and antioxidant properties. This is why the slogan for the drink is, Guinness is good for you. If a Guinness is poured at an angle of 45 degrees, it takes 11.95 seconds to make the perfect pint. Until 2009, people who donated blood in Ireland received a free pint of Guinness. Now let's look at animals. Ireland doesn't have a lot of obvious animals. We don't have snakes, we don't have moles, we don't have bears, but there's one animal we do have that you'd never expect. Wallabies. Although wallabies are synonymous with Australia, the marsupials live in Lambay Island off the coast of Dublin. Daniel Bradley and Dr. Sheridan Edwards of Oxford University studied the polar bear and learned it originated from the extinct Irish brown bear. This means that polar bears originally came from Ireland. The national dog of Ireland is the Irish wolfhound. The national fish is the northern pike. The Irish word for cow is bow. The direct translation of this word is partnership in nature. Oh, in case you didn't know, yes, Ireland has an Irish language. It really annoys me how so many people don't know that. I'm going to do an entire video about that, so if you want me to talk about the Irish language, let me know. The Lord Mayor of Dublin can bestow the Freedom of Dublin Award on anyone he believes to be worthy of it. This allows the person to be exempt from certain taxes, gives them the right to vote in municipal elections, and above all, allows the person the right to pasture sheep on city common ground. When Bonner received the award in the year 2000, he pastured sheep in St. Stephen's Green. Belfast Zoo has the only tree kangaroos in the United Kingdom. The zoo has the only purple-faced langur monkeys in Europe. In the 1600s, Ireland was known as Wolfland, which is a bit ironic because wolves went extinct in 1770. The RSPCA, Royal Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, was founded in 1824 by the Irish politician Richard Martin. The largest deer ever was the 12-foot-tall Irish deer and went extinct 11,000 years ago. Fungi, the dingle dolphin, lives in the waters of Kerry. He's been entertaining tourists since he appeared in 1983. I saw him when I was 6. Still the best day of my life. The capital of Northern Ireland, Belfast, is situated in County Down. Belfast is the biggest city in Northern Ireland. The Titanic was built in the Belfast shipyard Harland and Wolff. At the time, it was the world's biggest shipyard. The Vikings founded Ireland's capital, Dublin, in 988 AD. In Irish, Dublin is called Baile Achaclia, which translates into Town of the Hurdled Ford. The vice president of the Flat Earth Society, Michael Wilmore, resides in Dublin. He believes the Earth is flat. It isn't. Dublin was originally called Dove Linn, which means Black Pool. Although Dublin has almost a third of the population of Ireland, it's only 197 square miles, making it the third smallest county. Okay, inventions. Although the guillotine was popularized in France at the end of the 18th century, it was invented in Ireland in 1307. In the 1830s, a Dublin theatre owner called Richard Daly bet his friends he could make up a word and incorporate it into the English language. The word that Daly coined was quiz. A scientist from Cork, Vincent Barry, accidentally created a drug called clofazimine. This is the most effective medication against Hansen's disease. You may know it by a different name. Leprosy. Thanks to Barry's accidental creation, his drug is responsible for saving 16 million people who have suffered from this dreadful disease. Barry is directly responsible for nearly eradicating this illness globally. Dublin doctor Francis Rynd is the first person to successfully inject a patient with a hypodermic needle. He accomplished this in 1844. And now we'll talk about the greatest thing Ireland ever invented. Bacon. Although there are many ways to make bacon, the most popular type is to cut them into thin strips. In Ireland, this type of bacon is called rashers. Waterford butcher Henry Denny created and patented this type of bacon. Bacon did exist before this, but it was sold in chunks or slabs of meat. The tractor was invented by Down farmer Harry Ferguson. Some people joke that the vehicle was such a hazard on the road, Ferguson indirectly invented the traffic jam. Okay, now let's look at law. You can claim Irish citizenship if one of your grandparents was Irish. Westboro Baptist Church protested against Ireland's legalization of same-sex marriage with picketing signs. However, the church, because they're stupid, got Ireland's flag wrong. The Irish flag is green, white, and orange in that order. The church members reversed the colours so the flag was orange, white, and green. This is the flag of the African country Ivory Coast. There have been many ridiculous laws in Ireland over the years. By 2006, the Irish government had to remove 45,000 archaic laws that had been stacked over the centuries. Most of these laws were inherited from the English common law system. How stupid were these laws? Well, in 1181, Jews were banned in Ireland from owning armour. Also, in 1718, a law was passed in Ireland so traders could not mix coffee with sheep dung. Oh no. During medieval times, a man could divorce his wife if she, quote, made a mess of everything. Is that still legal? In 1897, it was illegal in Ireland for a person to wrestle a tiger for entertainment. Do we even have tigers? And this has got to be the dumbest law in Ireland. Until 2006, it was against the law in Ireland to publicly display behaviour that connected with witchcraft and sorcery, even as a pretense. This means until 12 years ago, you couldn't legally play out Harry Potter in the open in Ireland. Now let's just look at some miscellaneous facts. Ireland is an island in the North Atlantic. It is separated by Great Britain to its east by the North Channel, the Irish Sea, and St. George's Channel. Donald Trump believes Ireland is a part of the UK, which it totally isn't. That's an absolute geographic fail. Trump, would it kill you to know things? The oldest manuscript of the New Testament resides in the Chester Beatty Library in Dublin. The Book of Kells is a Latin manuscript from 800 AD that contains the Gospels of the New Testament. It is currently situated in Trinity College in Dublin. It was written in a Columban monastery either in Ireland or Britain. The book was written on vellum, which is calfskin, which was common at the time. The book is so tattered, only one page is allowed to be turned per day. Since the book is 340 pages long, it would take nearly a year to view every page. The Irish tricolour flag was created in 1848. The flag is green, white, and orange. The green represents the Irish Catholics, the orange represents the Irish Protestants, and the white represents the hope of peace between them. Originally, Ireland had a green flag with a yellow heart. It was created by Owen Roe O'Neill in 1642. Ireland is 32,595 square miles. Ireland's total coastline is 1,970 miles long. The Vikings regularly invaded Ireland for over 200 years. Vikings. There are 201 people in Ireland per square mile. The first person in Ireland to own a car was Fergus Mitchell. Ireland is the 120th biggest country in the world. There are more mobile phones in Ireland than people. The currency of Ireland is the euro. Originally, it was the Irish pound. The national tree of Ireland is the Cecil oak. The national weapon is the battle axe. Oh yeah, all those people I know who own battle axes. Why do we have them? The national gemstone of Ireland is the Connemara marble. There's this weird misconception that Ireland is the only country where the windmills turn anti-clockwise. This isn't true. Ireland reports less UFOs than any country in Europe. The reason why is because Ireland is so religious. If they were to ever see anything they couldn't explain in the sky, they would usually believe it is an angel or some biblical figure. Irish people are prone to a disorder called hemochromatosis. This condition causes a person to produce more iron than her body can handle, which can develop into diabetes, heart failure, or liver disease. The first thought I had when I heard of this disease affecting Irish people was, Magneto from the X-Men can control metal. So, does that mean he could control Irish people?
Too much iron on your blood.
That is an actual thought I had, unironically. This disorder is so common in Ireland, hemochromatosis is nicknamed the Celtic curse. 73% of Americans can't locate Ireland on a map. Okay, that's often said to make Americans look stupid, but in your defense, our country is like 140 times smaller than yours. I could probably not confidently point to a single state in America, so Americans, I'll give you that one. From the mid-1990s to the late 2000s, the Irish economy was booming due to foreign investments. The boom is a rare example of a Western country whose economy grew to the same level as Asian countries like Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. These four countries are better known as the Four Asian Tigers. During this time, Ireland was known as the Celtic Tiger. Sadly, nothing lasts forever, because the recession hit Ireland worse than almost any country in Europe. An ESRI study confirmed that unemployment increased from 4.6% in 2006 to 15% in 2012. However, it was much worse for the youth. Unemployment for Irish people under the age of 25 increased from 9.9% to a whopping 33%. Just to let you know, I moved to England exactly 1 week before the recession happened. So, bullets dodged everywhere. Tinnitus is when a person can hear a ringing noise even when no external sound is present. During medieval times, Irish people believed this ringing sound meant a dead friend was stuck in purgatory and was ringing a bell so that someone would pray for him or her. The Marx Brothers were a comedy group during the 1930s. They made many films like Duck Soup, Monkey Business, and A Night at the Opera. They were banned in Ireland for their anarchic tendencies.
Never mind that stuff. Take a card.
Card? What'll I do with the card?
You can keep it. I've got 51 left.
Yep. That is anarchy. Russian leader Vladimir Lenin was taught English by an Irish teacher. As a result, he spoke English with Irish inflections. If siblings are born within a year of each other, they are known as Irish twins. This derogatory term references how poor Catholic families tend to have a new child almost every year. Yeah, one of my friends has 16 siblings, so fair point. Ireland has a reputation for being a country where it always rains but rarely snows. There's actually a very distinct reason why this is. Ireland acts like a rain shield for the UK as it takes in all the warm air released by the North Atlantic Gulf Stream. Although Ireland is on the same latitude as Newfoundland in Canada, Ireland is about 9 degrees Celsius warmer. This is why it really snows in Ireland. However, this causes Ireland to receive far more rain than most countries. Although people picture Ireland being covered in green hills as far as the eye can see, a 2013 study confirmed that only 11% of the country is forested. Ironically, this makes Ireland one of the least green European countries, since the average Eastern European country is 35% forested. Of the 70 to 80 million Irish people in the world, only 4.6 million live in Ireland. In 1800, the population of Ireland was almost twice as large as the United States. Nowadays, the US has about 60 times more people than Ireland. Dublin-born physician Dorothy Price introduced the Bacillus Calumet Guerin vaccine to Ireland. This led to the elimination of tuberculosis throughout the country. Irish scientist John Tyndall was the first person to explain scientifically why the sky is blue. He was also the first person to be referred to as a physicist. Originally, people in this field were simply called scientists. Ireland and Great Britain were attached to France until 6200 BC, when a devastating tsunami separated the countries. When the nations were merged together, it was known as Doggerland. Okay, this one is a huge misconception. Even Irish people get confused by this. In Ireland, Ireland, the head of government's title is Taoiseach, which means chieftain or first among us. Leo Varadkar is currently the Taoiseach and has been since June 14th, 2017. Outside of Ireland, the Taoiseach is often erroneously referred to as the Prime Minister of Ireland. Although the Taoiseach does have the power of the Prime Minister, he is also the chief executive and head of government in Ireland. According to historians Marion Dowd and Ruth Carden, the earliest evidence of humanity in Ireland dates back to 12,800 BC. It's an Irish tradition to take the longest road home from church after a wedding party. An Irish president's term is 7 years. They can be re-elected once, meaning that he or she can hold the presidency for a maximum of 14 years. The Irish for president is Uachtaráin, which translates into one who rises through excellence. Although 78% of Irish people are classified as Catholics, only 30% attend church. In 1981, atheism in Ireland was only 1%. By 2016, it was at 10%. Some Irish people go to holy wells to pay their respects to the saints. These wells are known as prayer stations. Originally, the church disapproved of holy wells as they were associated with paganism. In 1864, a Dublin doctor called John Osborne requested to be buried in an upright coffin after he died. You see, Osborne was preparing for when Jesus Christ returned on the day of resurrection. Since Osborne suffered from arthritis, he had difficulty standing up, so he thought being buried in an upright coffin was the only logical solution. So you believe Jesus Christ has the power to resurrect you, but not to cure your arthritis. Oh yeah, because that's way harder than raising the dead. In 1718, Philip, Duke of Wharton, set up an exclusive club in London called the Hellfire Club. The members were rumoured to take part in immoral acts to win political favours. As its popularity grew, other Hellfire Clubs were opened throughout England. After Wharton's club disseminated, the Hellfire Clubs became very popular in Ireland. Gulliver's Travels author Jonathan Swift called the Hellfire Club a brace of monsters, blasphemers, and bacchanalians. No idea what that means, but Swift is a respected writer, so I'll assume that's a real word. Dublin's Hellfire Club is said to be haunted. Ireland is home to 1,200 artificial islands called crannogs. These wooden structures were usually built in lakes and rivers. Although there are crannogs in Scotland and Wales, Ireland is home to the most, mainly in Wexford and Clare. In fact, there are so many crannogs, archaeologists are still finding new ones every year. Although they're usually 30 feet in diameter, some of them were up to 100 feet wide. Crannogs were often used as a retreat for kings, lords, and respected farmers. Ireland joined the European Community in 1973. Cork-born William Horace de Vere Cole is one of the most infamous pranksters of all time. He pretended to be a royal guard and convinced the Royal Navy to show him the British battleship the Dreadnought. While attending Cambridge, Cole pretended to be the uncle of Zanzibar's Sultan. Sometimes he walked around town with a cow's udder poking out of his trousers. He had a lot of free time. Some people believe Cole was the one who pranked the world with the Pilton Man, who many paleontologists believe was the missing link between ape and man. The specimen turned out to be a human with an orangutan jaw. Although the shamrock is synonymous with Ireland, the plant is used on certain flags and emblems in Canada, Denmark, Greece, Germany, Italy, Australia, and Scotland. Each of the leaves of a shamrock represents something. The first is hope, the second is fate, and the third is love. If the shamrock mutates, so it develops a fourth leaf, it represents luck. There's a 0.01% chance that a shamrock will develop 4 leaves naturally, but due to genetic manipulation, botanists can create 4-leaf shamrocks easily. Very rarely, a clover can even develop 5 leaves. And let's end it with a few world records. While in York, England, Irish-born Enda Wright pulled a wheelie on his motorcycle while going 108 miles an hour, which is the world record. Adrian Leonard has the world record for solving the most Rubik's Cubes on a unicycle with a grand total of 28. How do you even know you can do that? Why did you do that? The largest gathering of nuns were 1,436 in Listowel in Kerry on June 30th, 2012. Most of them were men. The oldest map of the moon was carved on a rock at Knowth near the River Boyne 5,000 years ago. In 2013, Dee Featherstone went skinny dipping with 60 of her friends and family members to support her after she was diagnosed with cancer. Featherstone was so inspired, she decided to do this every year to raise as much money for charity as possible. By 2018, Featherstone went skinny dipping with 2,504 women at Mahermore Beach in Wicklow. This is the world record for most people to skinny dip in history. For 2018, Dee was hoping that she would raise €10,000. Instead, she raised 181,000. This means that she raised 18 times more than her original goal. In 2012, Today FM organised a charity project where they dyed the hair of members of the public to raise aid for Irish Cancer Society. Hairstylist Damien Bennett dyed 62 heads of hair in 24 hours, which is the world record. And finally, Sean Murray from Cork can unhook 91 bras in 1 minute, which is the world record. His parents must be so proud. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about Ireland, Belfast, the Celts, the famine, history of Great Britain, emigration, language, mythology, leprechauns, Irish music, St. Patrick, Irish sports. Let me know and I'll upload a video about it as soon as possible.
To learn more facts, check out my books on Amazon. They're available on paperback and Kindle. Thanks for watching. See you again.